My name is Mike Van Kampen, and I pastor a church up in Muskegon, and I'd like to share with you a paradigm or a methodology that we've been using in our church lately that's already bearing some fruit, and we believe is going to bear even greater fruit in the years to come. It's all based on the story from Isaiah 6, where Isaiah sees God. It's like the curtains of heaven are pulled back, and Isaiah sees the Lord seated upon this incredible throne. And all of the angels of heaven are like fireflies on a warm summer night. They're around the throne and they're singing their song. Isaiah sees God in that way and becomes immediately aware of his sin. The angel comes to him with the coal, purifies the sin, touches his mouth. And then the voice from the throne says, "Whom shall we send and who will go for us?" And Isaiah's jumping out of his little Nikes saying, "Here am I, send me." Well, there's a pattern to that interaction that we see replicated over and over and over again in Scripture. And we call it the up, in, and out. Now, that's not a new phrase. We didn't invent that at all. It comes from the 3DM materials and from a number of other materials that are out there as well. But it's called up, and then in, and out. The up and the in and the out is that same paradigm that we see in stories like, say, Moses, where Moses has his burning bush moment. He meets God. There's an up moment. There's an inner transformation that takes place inside of Moses. That's the in moment. And then Moses receives his call. There's the out. They have to happen in this way because Moses has to meet God, be changed, and then be sent. And we've decided that this is really a pattern for spiritual maturity in Scripture. So we look at our worship services and say every service needs to have an up component, an in component, and an out component. Of course, we're meeting God in our worship services. We're desiring inner transformation, and we want to send people out with a call upon their lives. The new groups that we form in our congregation, we're calling them up, in, out groups. Sometimes we just call them fellowship families, but every group is going to have an up, an in, and an out. We want these groups to have discipleship time, where they're seeing God, experiencing God, and being transformed by His presence. We want every group to have an in time. Not only the inner change, but a time when they're gathering more people to their group. That's the in piece. And then finally the out. We want every group to have a missional component to their group. We don't want to leave out any of these pieces because if we did, we think we'd lose something in terms of spiritual maturity. So every new group, every ministry in our church, we're patterning after the up, the in, and the out. Because we believe that's a pattern that we see replicated over and over and over again in Scripture. It's already bearing fruit in our church. We hope it bears fruit in your church as well.